Here's a solution for total purchase in C++. Here I want to make sure I have the bare bones. Usually the IO stream needs to be included. I need to use the namespace called std for outputting information or getting information from the user. The int main function is always there, usually is always there. The int main function is always inside the program. And then here we have the return 02 that terminates the program at the end of the int main function. Now in here I have these comments. There's three portions of code that you need. You need an input, you need a process, you need the output. Okay, first things first. The input is usually information that we receive from the user, but in this case it's given to us. So we have three price items, and then we have a sales tax that we're going to use, and this is part of the input portion because usually we receive it from the user, but in this case I'm hard coding it in there. So the first variable that I create is a constant variable, which is a double, which is going to be the tax rate. So the sales tax is going to be called sales tax, and it's going to be set equal to 0.0. We'll say we'll just make up a number, 0.0745, or yeah, 0.07, right? And this would be actually 7%. Was it 7%? 0.7%. Actually, so this one will be 7%. Okay, and then some other information that we're going to use, that we're going to hard code in here as input, is going to be a few double variables. So I'm going to use a price item. So I'm going to say item 1 is equal to whatever the price is. We'll say $12.95. Or $12.96, and then item 2 that's going to be set equal to, we'll say 23.78, and then item 3. So there's going to be 4 items. This one's going to be 567. I'm just making up numbers here, so you can put, whatever numbers you think should go in here, just go ahead and put them in here. So item number 4 is 1445, and then item number 5 is 256. All right. So these are all the variables that I'm going to need so far, and we'll imagine that we get this from the user. But in this case, it's just hard coded in there because it's kind of a basic problem. Okay, so this is our input section. We got a constant. The constant right here is a variable that's not to be changed. That's basically, you're telling the program, hey, I have this variable here that if I try at some point in the program, I try to change it later, just remind me, hey, that I created this variable to not be changed. These variables can be changed throughout the program. So imagine you have a huger program. If you decide to re-ask the user, hey, can you remind me what that item price is, for item 1, and the user can be like, oh, it changed, so they can change it, whatever. Okay, so the next portion, I got all the information I need. The next thing I need to do is process some information. I need to get a subtotal, sales tax, and then a total. Okay, so, and these are going to be double variables. A double variable is a variable that is a decimal. If you put just a regular integer variable, it's going to truncate the decimal and just create just use the large number without the fraction in there. So they're fractions. So double subtotal, this is set equal to item 1 plus item 2 plus item, so all the items added together. Plus item 4, and then plus item 5. All right, so okay, so I have this variable here called subtotal. So I need to do some more processing or calculating. I need another variable, so it's going to be a double as well. It's going to be sales tax. It's going to be called sales tax. Now, if you notice, this sales tax this variable is actually the same name as this variable, but it's different because this one is uppercase and this one is lowercase. So it's a case sensitive language. So if you, I mean, you can have something that looks like this and then something that looks like this, have two separate variables with two different names, because the program sees this S as a number in the computer, and it sees this S as a number in the computer, and they're different numbers because one is uppercase and one is lowercase. Also, this was different because it's not a, this is a constant variable and this is not a constant variable. So to get the sales tax, we need to equal it to the sales the subtotal multiplied by I'm sorry, yeah, the subtotal multiplied by the sales tax constant variable. Okay, so another calculation that I'm gonna need is the actual total, which is like kind of like the grand total, and that's gonna be equals to the subtotal multiplied by the sales tax. Which is this sales tax right here. This is confusing. So if this is confusing you guys, you just go and change this variable if you want to. But you know, later on when you're looking at difficult code, this you're gonna run into this a lot, where there's two names but they're different variables, and they look different. One has uppercase, one has lowercase. So it'd be good to get used to it at this point. So sales tax, I got total, I got subtotal. All right, this is all the processing that I need. This is all the calculating that I need. Next thing that I need to do is show the user, hey, look what I did. Basically, you're outputting the information back to the user. So like I need a cout statement, put a line break automatically so it can look nice at the console. And then I'm just going to output all this information, subtotal, sales tax, and then total. So I'll just say subtotal equals, I need to go ahead and put a money sign there, subtotal. Put a line break there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to put what am I going to put? The sales tax, sales tax equals money sign, sales tax, and L is basically a line break. It goes to the next line instead of continuing to output it on the same line. And then the next thing I'm going to output is the total, and that's going to be set equal to money sign the total variable. Excuse me, and L, and then here put another end L or line break, and in that cout statement. All right, so you can put all this entire cout statement, you can put it on one line, but I just kind of decorate it to where it's on separate lines to make it look a little nicer there. All right, so this is all the information that I need. Next thing I need to do is go over to I need to open a terminal. So on here on the file that I'm working on, which is 000.cpp, it's right here in the Explorer, and this is the file that it's in. So I just right click, open integrated terminal, and there's my terminal. Here it's showing the folder that my program is in, which is right here. Okay, and another way to check that you're in the right directory or folder. Directory and folder are kind of the same thing. It's just a different way to call it. So to check to see if your program is in this directory, you can hit ls, and it shows you all the files that are inside that particular folder. So the one I'm looking for is this one here. All right, so I'm in the right place. I need to compile the program. I'll say C++, and then enter the file name, hit enter. And at this point, if there were any errors in the program, it would show you that there's errors. But Visual Studio shows you that there's errors right here. If there are any, then you go ahead and fix them and figure out how to debug basically. All right, so the program is compiled right here, so it's in memory. It's saying okay. So at this point, it's in memory. So next thing we to do is to output that program or whatever the program is doing. So we hit ./a.out, hit enter. And then boom, it shows us the information that we decided to output with the cout statement here in the console. So we got the subtotal, sales tax, and then the total.